Today we'll be giving an overview of OSCAR, the Online Sustainable Conservation Assistance Resource. OSCAR is an information system that has been developed by the Association for Preservation Technology to improve the sustainable performance of heritage buildings in a way which is compatible with their values and construction. Let's back up a minute and look at why this tool is needed. In order to mitigate the devastating effects of a warming climate, the 2015 Paris climate talks call for a dramatic reduction in greenhouse gas or carbon emissions to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. We are already seeing the effects of climate change in the increase of both frequency and severity of natural disasters such as these. And we know that buildings account for 40% of the current carbon emissions. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, improving energy efficiency in existing buildings encompasses one of the most diverse, largest, and most cost-effective mitigation opportunities in buildings to combat climate change. In order to meet all these targets, all buildings need to be at zero net carbon by 2050. Across the spectrum of buildings, most of the focus is currently on the design of new buildings, but OSCAR's task is to address the existing buildings across the whole range of heritage significance, and best practices for historically significant buildings translates to the appropriate treatment of any existing building. We need guidance to get everyone up to speed to be able to make the carbon reductions necessary as quickly as possible and in appropriately sensitive ways. We need a reference to readily access information about how to address existing buildings, including historically significant ones, in different climates and of many typologies, traditions, and materials. The members of APT are the people who know how to work with existing buildings and promote their longevity through the use of new and traditional technologies. The APT Technical Committee on Sustainable Preservation, often called TCSP, educates people on the relationship between cultural and environmental sustainability. OSCAR is one of TCSP's projects. I will share some links in the description below of the other TCSP initiatives that may be of interest. So let's get to it. What is OSCAR? It's an acronym for the Online Sustainable Conservation Assistance Resource, which is a digital tool and information system to improve the sustainable performance of heritage buildings, and any existing building for that matter, in a way which is compatible with their character, values, materials, and components. OSCAR is intended to be one tool for use among many, so you would still use all the other investigative and design tools as always. OSCAR is an informational resource to help you establish not just what design decisions to make, but why. We live in an era of information overload. The problem is that not all information out there is good or relevant, and what is good is often lengthy and time-consuming, especially when you're trying to weigh multiple design decisions on a tight schedule and budget. OSCAR is designed to filter through the overwhelming piles of misinformation and distill the good information into easily digestible concepts. It serves as a guidance tool to direct design professionals and students to trusted resources for more in-depth information. You are able to browse for relevant information in a database, which is organized into 4 types of actions that can be applied to a building component. This will allow you to 1. Understand the inherently sustainable features, or ISFs, that you already have, including the passive design features which may be part of the character of your building. 2. Ensure your components are preserved and in a good state of repair. 3. Apply additional energy performance strategies to meet your carbon targets. 4. And of course, do what you can to ensure that your building can withstand or be resilient to the threats it faces. And this is the formula at the heart of OSCAR and how it operates. To get a better understanding of what this looks like, Here are some examples of actions for roofs. 1. An inherently sustainable feature, or ISF, could include a large roof overhang which protects from rain and hot summer sun, but allows passive solar heating in winter. ISF actions are more about understanding what you have so you can enhance the original design intent to maximize the effectiveness of performance upgrades while minimizing impact to these features, which are often important contributions to the heritage character of a building. 2. Preservation actions could include fixing gutters or replacing broken roof tiles. 3. Energy actions might involve adding insulation to the attic or improving the ability of the roof to shed water away from walls to increase durability and therefore preserve the embodied carbon of the building materials. 4. Resilience actions might involve installing wind-resistant shingles to better withstand tornadoes, or larger gutters to handle increased volumes of stormwater. Here is a screenshot of the website and the database of preservation action cards. Here we are specifically looking at damage, defects, and decay that you may find on various types of roofs. When you click on an action card, a new window will pop up. This window contains lots of good information about the action at an overview summary level. In this example, we are looking at missing asphalt shingles. The summary is partially visible on the card itself and also at the top of the action card window. More information is provided concisely in a standardized format explaining what to do when you see this condition and why it is important to fix it. This information is cited and linked to resources where much more in-depth information may be found. In this way, we're providing clear, concise information with an opportunity to drill down as far as needed, using good, academically acceptable sources. Another great feature of OSCAR is the Project Builder, which provides guidance at the component assembly level for the sustainable preservation of a specific building you are interested in. For this feature, you need to set up a user profile so you can save the information for your building. As a side note, OSCAR is free for anyone to use, and our goal is first and foremost to get good information out there. Anyways, the first step of the Project Builder is to enter basic information about the building, including heritage significance and various other goals and priorities. OSCAR then helps you to understand your building by breaking it down into components and the assemblies and materials. For example, brick veneer walls on a wood-framed wall, or asphalt shingles on steep sloping roof. You can select the ISF, preservation, energy, and/or resilience actions relevant to your component in your project. From your identified relevant actions, you may create multiple options or scenarios as you identify and refine your design strategy. Your identified actions for a given component and its assemblies and materials become part of a larger context of your building. This process is repeated for all the building components you are addressing to identify an overall building strategy that considers the relationships and interactions between various actions. This is called whole building ecology. For example, increasing air tightness is an effective way to reduce heat loss. However, it may lead to condensation and moisture concerns in certain contexts if ventilation is inadequate. Finally, these actions are compiled in a report, which may then be shared with the design team, client, stakeholders, and regulatory agencies. So, that's the Project Builder. One last great feature of OSCAR is the bibliography of all the sources cited in the action cards. This is an ever-growing database of good, sustainable preservation resources. OSCAR is still really in its infancy. We have a number of features planned still, and most importantly, quite a bit of content to build in. So stay tuned! And thank you for listening to this presentation.